What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new review for American Horror Story Cult, this time for episode 5, Holes. Continuing off of a really strong episode last time out with some massive reveals, this one went even further, diving into the background of Kai and how he came to be the way he is. But first, let's dive into a quick plot recap. The episode begins with Beverly reporting live on the crimes of the clown killers and catches us up to our last present-day episode with Meadow's disappearance, and this is a source of conflict between Beverly and Bob, but she's got a leg up on him because of Serena's murder. We then turn to a meeting of Kai's band of merry misfits. Winter, the cop, Harrison, Beverly, the handless Trump voter, a random guy Kai slaps the shit out of, and Ivy, confirming that yes, her kidnapping the handless Trump voter was not a one-off thing. We then jump back to Allie for the first time in 2 episodes, whose terrors continue to mount, especially with Ivy taking Oz and leaving after she found out about Allie and Winter, and things have progressed really quickly on that front, as Allie's only got limited visitation with Oz at this point. Kai's insane posse of clowns breaks into the house of the anchorman, Bob, and brutally beat him before stabbing him to death, and discovering that he housed a gimp in his attic, which Kai then stabs too, over the objection of some others. Back at Allie, she grabs a telescope to spy on Harrison and sees him dragging something and then making out with the blonde cop, and going over to investigate, she finds a grave with Meadow in it. She flees back to her house, of course, only for Meadow to chase her, confirming for Allie some major things. I mean, Kai's band is basically a cult with Harrison, Winter, the policeman, and Ivy in it, among others. Kai's murder of Bob has had the desired effect, though, and he surged into the polls ahead of all other candidates, but it sets up further for next episode as it's revealed he's got to win more than 50% of the vote next week to avoid a runoff. While Ivy's in the gang, she's put in a tough spot as she has to prove she's loyal by killing the random dude from earlier, RJ, by shooting him in the head with a nail gun, and the group takes turns until RJ's dead. But the biggest reveal of the episode comes in its final moments. While Kai and Beverly are doing the truth ritual thing, Beverly asks him about his parents and what happened to them. Flashing back to 2014 and a recently graduated and fairly normal Kai, we learn that his father was kind of a dick and his mother eventually shot him and committed suicide. Panicking, he called his older brother Dr. Rudy Vincent, the psychiatrist, which connects him back to the main story. And rather than calling the police for the financial burden they'd incur, they lock them in their bedroom and cover them in lye for the smell, something that eventually drives Kai a little bit crazy as we can see him talking to his mother as she literally decomposes. Overall, while not quite as strong as last episode, in my mind this was probably still the second best episode of the season so far, with our antagonist now fully out of the shadows. It was really interesting to see behind the scenes, kind of the group dynamics of Kai's cult. I mean, he was basically the unquestioned leader for the most part. I mean, RJ was really the only one asking the questions, although I get the feeling that Beverly might try to make like a power move at some point, and that could be maybe the domino that falls and starts to rip the whole thing apart. After last episode, one of my biggest fears about this show was that by unmasking the clowns literally less than halfway into the season, would there still be that tension, or would the series kind of peter out and just sputter to a halt? And one episode since that reveal, it's still really tense. But the episode wasn't perfect, and while I enjoyed a lot more than I disliked, especially the reveal of Kai's secret origin, the murder of Bob and the Gimp twist, and the Meadow storyline continuing, the biggest issue was RJ. And I feel bad saying it, because poor RJ. I mean, after basically 5 episodes of killing off main characters, high-stakes psychological twists and turns, this kind of felt like something out of The Walking Dead. I mean, when a previously unknown background character starts getting more of a spotlight in an episode, it's almost assured that he's going to die, which he did. Overall, though, I'll give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. It was strong, not quite as strong as last week, but it advanced the plot in a really interesting direction and supplemented the psychological horror with some more of the usual physical stuff to good effect. Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of the episode, and don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. And if you love the Hybrid Network and want to take your support of the channel to the next level, please feel free to support us on our Patreon. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.